This weekend, we're in Atlanta, a city steeped in history, culture, and innovation, and often referred to as the capital of the South. From the iconic Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park to the refreshing world of Coca-Cola, there's something for everyone. And let's not forget the mouth-watering Southern cuisine, crispy fried chicken, peach cobbler, and more. Join me as we discover the heart and soul of Atlanta. Let's go! Howdy fellow travelers, this is Ken from Ken Travels 360. If you're new to this channel, I share useful tips I discovered during my travels along with candid reviews of flights and cruises. Right now, we've just landed at Atlanta International Airport. For the transfer to our hotel in the downtown, we're taking the MARTA train from the airport to Peachtree Center. The fare is just $2.50 and it will be 8 stops. We're staying at Hampton Inn and Suite, Atlanta downtown. Originally, we reserved a room at the hotel opposite, the American Hotel. However, a couple of weeks ago, just before leaving home, I checked the prices and Hampton Inn has slashed the rates by $60. So we switched to this one instead. Right, having settled in, let's go out to explore Atlanta. We'll start things off with one of the city's most iconic landmarks, the Centennial Olympic Park. Located right in the heart of downtown Atlanta, this park holds a special place in the city's history and is a must-visit for anyone exploring the area. The Centennial Olympic Park was built for the 1996 Summer Olympics, which were hosted right here in Atlanta. Lots of visitors like to take a picture in front of the Olympic ring sculptures. One of the highlights of the park is the iconic Fountain of Rings, a dazzling display of water jets and lights that's become a symbol of Atlanta. The Fountain of Rings shows is played here 4 times a day at 12:30, 15:30, 18:30 and 2100. Right, let's go check out the Quilt Plaza next. On the eastern side of the park, 5 plazas tell the story of Atlanta's Centennial Olympic Games. A cascading series of beautifully landscaped water features weave together the quilts. We start off with the Quilt of Dreams, which celebrates the visionary dream of Atlanta Organization Committee's CEO, Billy Payne, who spent a decade bringing the Olympics to Atlanta. Well, next we have the Quilt of Remembrance. On July 27, 1996, during the Summer Olympics, a homemade pipe bomb concealed within a backpack detonated amidst a crowd of onlookers, resulting in 1 death and causing injuries to 112 others. Additionally, a photojournalist died of a heart attack while rushing to cover the event. The quilt here features a mosaic of stones from around the world to honor the 112 people injured by the bombing. An eternal light shines in this plaza in memory of Alice Hawthorne, who perished. Then we have the Quilt of Origins, which honors the progression of athletes from the original Greek Olympians to modern-day competitors. The 4th quilt, the Quilt of Olympic Spirit, salutes the 10,000 athletes who participated in the 1996 Olympic Games. Here, you can find the name of all the winners of the 1996 Olympic Games carved onto granite blocks. Finally, we have the Quilt of Nations, which honors the 197 nations that participated in the 1996 Centennial Olympic Games. This was at the time the largest number of countries ever represented in the history of Olympic Games. After exploring the Centennial Olympic Park, it's time to turn our attention to dinner. We've made a reservation at Sweet George's Juke Joint, just a few minutes walk from our hotel, so let's head there now. We visited it on a Saturday night and a live band was performing throughout the evening, making the atmosphere super lively and fun. It's the perfect spot to soak in some Southern vibes. For entree, I went for the Southern fried chicken with some classic mac and cheese and greens on the side. It's crispy, packed with flavor, and just what you want from a comfort food feast. And for dessert, we couldn't resist the peach cobbler. It's warm, sweet, and topped with a crumbly, buttery crust. We even got a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top, which makes it even better. Trust me, this is the ultimate southern dessert experience. Good morning, Atlanta. Today is our second day of our visit to Atlanta. Today we woke up to a beautiful sunny blue sky and we're now heading to the world of Coca-Cola. You might know that Coca-Cola is headquartered in Atlanta, so it's only natural they have this attraction here. Right, we've got the tickets, so we are gonna enter the world of Coca-Cola now. Okay, here we go. Well, we start the experience with the loft. Here, you'll find hundreds of artifacts spanning over 135 years of Coca-Cola history. They come from all over the world, including places like France, South Korea, and Zimbabwe. From vintage Coke bottles to old-school advertisement and quirky international collectibles, there's a lot to check out. Meanwhile, a staff member is around to share fascinating stories about these pieces, which really bring the history to life.
Guess how much they were charging for ice cubes?
After that, we were guided into the next stage, a short film about Coca-Cola's moments of happiness. The film is a bit commercial, but it does get you into the spirit of things. It's a nice lead-in to the rest of the experience. So these are sculptures of Coke bottles from all around the world. This one is from Georgia, the other Georgia. So after seeing the shows, make sure you come up here to meet the Coca-Cola polar bear. We're meeting the polar bear. Here's the polar bear. Hello. After meeting the iconic Coca-Cola polar bear, we dove right into the exhibits. There's a lot to see, but two that really stand out are the vault and milestones of refreshment. First, we headed to the vault, where Coca-Cola's legendary secret formula is secured. This formula is one of the most closely guarded secrets in the world, and here you get a glimpse into its origins. We learned about how competitors tried and failed to copy Coca-Cola's success and how the secrecy around the formula has fueled countless myths and legends over the years. It's a mix of mystery and history that's pretty captivating. Next, we explored Milestone of Refreshment, which walks you through Coca-Cola's journey from its humble beginnings at a soda fountain right here in Atlanta to becoming a global phenomenon. There are 10 galleries to explore, each packed with fascinating exhibits and priceless memorabilia. It's like a walk through time, showing how Coca-Cola evolved alongside culture and history. After soaking in all that history, it was time for some tasting. At the tasting exhibit, we sampled dozens of beverages from the Coca-Cola family, representing flavors from around the world. Some were delicious, but others, well, they were a bit weird. But it was fun to sample soft drinks from different countries. And before wrapping up, of course, we had to stop by their souvenir store. They've got all kinds of Coca-Cola merch that you won't find anywhere else. It's perfect for bringing a bit of Coca-Cola magic home. If you've been enjoying this video of our adventures in Atlanta, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more travel content like this, please subscribe to my channel with notifications enabled. Next, we'll be visiting Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park, and we'll be going there using the streetcar. Let's hop on. The Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Park in Atlanta is a significant landmark honoring the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most prominent figures in the civil rights movement. This is the Behold Monument, and it commemorates the historic principles that guided the life and works of Martin Luther King Jr. It was created by sculptor Patrick Morelli, who was inspired by the ancient African ritual of lifting a newborn child to the heavens and reciting the words, "Behold the only thing greater than yourself." So here we have Martin Luther King Jr. birth home. It's currently under restoration, so we couldn't visit it. When you visit the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park, the visitor center is a must-see. It's filled with powerful exhibits that bring Dr. King's life, work, and legacy to life in a truly moving way. The centerpiece here is the Courage to Lead exhibit, which takes you through Dr. King's life from his early days in Atlanta to his pivotal role in the civil rights movement. You walk through key moments like the Montgomery bus boycott, the March on Washington, and his powerful I Have a Dream speech. The exhibit uses a mix of photographs, artifacts, and multimedia presentations to paint a vivid picture of the challenges and triumphs of the movement. It's an emotional and inspiring experience that really brings history to life. After exploring the visitor center, we crossed the road to the King Center, where you can find one of the most serene and reflective spots, the Martin Luther King Jr. Fountain. Right at the heart of this fountain pool is the tomb memorial of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King. But behind me, this is Dr. and Mrs. King's tomb. In 1968, after he was assassinated, Martin Luther King Jr. was carried upon a farm wagon drawn by mules to Southview Cemetery. In 1970, Dr. King's remains were removed from Southview Cemetery to what is the current King Center campus. And in 2006, his crypt was rebuilt to also include the remains of Mrs. Coretta Scott King. The memorial is simple yet profoundly moving. The white marble tomb sits on a raised platform surrounded by the gentle flow of water, symbolizing peace and serenity. Engraved on the tomb are Dr. King's name and the words, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last," from his iconic I Have a Dream speech. But behind me, there is the eternal flame, which symbolizes the continuing effort to realize Dr. King's dream of the beloved community, which was his vision for a world of justice, peace, and equality for all mankind. Behind me, there is the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church. This historic preserved church is where both Martin Luther King Jr. and his father were preachers. If you are interested to visit this historic church, then you should head to the opposite side, the visitor center, to register your interest in an escorted tour. Well, from Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Park, we walk a couple of blocks to Jackson Street Bridge. This is the best space to take a selfie with Atlanta's skyline. Now, if you got some extra time, you could grab a rental car, like we did, and explore some of the fantastic day trips destinations near Atlanta. With our car, we're heading to Amicalola Falls State Park, home to the tallest waterfall in Georgia. Right, we've just arrived at the Amicalola Falls State Park. And the main attraction here is the eponymous waterfalls. We just call in the visitor center, and inside we inquire about the best way to see the waterfalls. Basically, we're gonna have to drive along this top of Falls Road, and at the end of it, we'll find a parking area where we'll find an access trail. And at the end of the access trail, we'll see the waterfalls in its best light. In addition, in the visitor center, you can also find information about the Appalachian Trail and also moonshining in the Dawson County, as well as the animals that are present in this area. It's all very interesting, so make sure you spend some time to visit it. Well, we just drove up and we park our car here at West Ridge parking lot, and we're now gonna walk to see the waterfalls. What a beautiful day we are doing this. Well, you can start to hear and see the waterfalls on the side. Wow, look at that. This is a lot more stunning than I actually imagined. Alright, we have got to the top of the falls, and well, the view is very different. It's actually much better when you look at it from the bottom. After spending the day exploring the natural beauty of Amicalola Falls, it's time to head back to Atlanta. But before we wrap up our adventure, we've got one last stop to make. Well, here we are at the final attraction of our weekend in Atlanta, Piedmont Park. Piedmont Park boasts some of the most stunning views of the Atlanta skyline you will find anywhere in the city. It's the perfect spot to snap some Instagram-worthy pictures or simply soak in the beauty of the skyline. It's also the perfect place to play with your drone. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Although Atlanta is not a major tourist city, we spent a pleasant weekend here exploring its diverse attractions and soaking in its vibrant atmosphere. So, if you're ever in need of a weekend escape that combines culture, history, and pure fun, don't underestimate Atlanta's charm. Now, if you're ready to embark on another southern adventure, why not check out this video on New Orleans? It's another southern gem waiting to be explored, with its lively jazz scene, mouth-watering cuisine, and unique cultural experiences. See you over there. Ciao.